Hi, Gaye DeRusso with the Majestic rider. So new horse just arrived today. And he's a walking horse, which I'm sure you can tell, on the Pacey side. And so what we're going to do is start him today with some pole work. So he's very pacey under saddle. You can see he has a nice walk. I don't know if the camera's zooming in or not. But he has a nice walk with good leg separation. You'll see the V. But you can see now he just immediately shortened his stride and started to pace. And that's what we don't want. They always look lean. And he's pacey under saddle. So I want to teach him how to trot some, because it'll also help him to canter. And I know she wants to canter in time. Okay? So there's many ways you can do this to work on their gait, but I'm going to do it with what we call Cavaletti poles, and those are those poles that you see all lined up in front of me, and then I'm going to do my circle of poles, which you always see. So I was just lunging him first. He does know how to lunge. He's come here for a lesson before, and I want to make sure he's not nuts so he doesn't go in and trip over all the poles, because they can do that. So poles look pretty even. So what I do first, you can start with less poles, like just a couple of poles, but I want to walk through them so he understands how to get through them. Okay? So it's nice if they can follow you, because then they can watch how you're picking your feet up over it. Walking horses don't always pick up their feet high because they're bred to keep them low to the ground. Hey. And with these Cavaletti poles, because he has a bigger stride, and I was just doing this with my horse Tilly, they're spaced pretty far. So with the horses that pace and have a shorter stride, I might do 3 to 4 of my steps. So this is what I'm talking about, and it's hard because I have spurs on. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 steps in there, and they hit them, so you got to keep fixing them. 2, 3, 4. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one's a little bit longer. 1, 2, 3, and this is a lot longer. And then I move them depending on what the horse does. But the walking horses end up with really big trots because they have such a big stride. So now my job is I walked him through there. So let's see if he can figure it out. And I'm going to just walk him on the lunge line through there. Now, lots of times they'll try to evade it. So if your horse really cuts in, you might need one of those fiberglass training sticks. He's taken such big steps, I might need to make those poles even farther away. So how do you know where the poles should be? Well, if the horse is trying to leap to get over them and really stretching out, they're too far apart. If they're too close together, some of them just canter over them. The walking horses sometimes tend to step right on top of them like they're nothing. And you're like, how can they balance on the pole, but they can't go down the trail without tripping? Because they're special. They're very special. So they can do all these crazy things. But he's doing pretty well figuring it out. The thing is, when I ask him to go faster, all his life he's paced and not trot. So he might go in there and trip over all the poles in the beginning. So it's best if you teach him the sending exercise so you can turn them like this. Now again, this is his first day, so he's going to get better. Now we're going to go this way through it. And you got to get them to the middle. See how he was coming to my side and I kind of went at him, and now I'm going at him with my stick. So the things are, you can't just set up the poles and go through them when you don't know what you're doing. First, you got to get some groundwork on your horse. You got to make sure you can control it from the ground. Make sure it knows how to lunge. Make sure it knows how to do the sending exercise and disengage its hindquarters. And then you can start going through the poles. But if you just set up the poles and you have no control and you and your horse don't understand each other, it is going to go very bad, because they're just going to obliterate those poles. Okay? Good boy. So lowering the head, sneezing, which he just did both of, is a sign that he's getting what he's supposed to do. Okay, so what I'm going to do, we're going to go one more time this direction, then I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to start asking him to speed up as he gets to those poles. Some figure it out, and they go, oh, I just do this with my legs, and they trot. And some canter and do all sorts of crazy stuff over the top of the poles. So again, if your horse is not very smart, start with less poles because they won't figure it out. And then you just add in more poles as they get it. Okay. Whoa. Also, if they're anxious or hyper, you want to get that energy out before you start this because they won't think. So I'm going to start speeding up. Oh, so he kind of halfway trotted. Not bad at all. Now, if he's pacing here, that's okay. I'm looking at the poles because he hit him a little bit. Trot. Yep, see him trip over it. Normal. Very normal for a walking horse. See how they don't get upset? They don't care that they trip. I got to fix the poles. Trot. And there you go. So he's trotting. I got to check the spacing on the poles. So this one moved. Good boy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close enough. Okay, you back up. Let's try it again. So once you turn or they get in there, that's when you speed up. Oh boy. So the more he trots, the better. And in time, they'll start to trot when they're loose. Then you know you've done a good job. Good boy. So see, horse that's been pacing his whole life just started trotting. That trot's going to help square up our gait, make it smoother, and use other muscles. See him step on the pole? Stepped on that one too. Okay? That's okay. Again, some of it's steering, which is me, and if I misjudge, he just goes over him how he came in. So he came in cockeyed or crooked, and then stepped on the pole because the spacing was wrong because I came in wrong. Trot. So there he hopped, and that's why he hit the pole. Now, of course, he's still pacing here. It would be nice if he went to trotting, but I didn't expect that. Oh, boy. So there we cut. We didn't get to the middle. So to see things happen to me just like they happen to you, it's not perfect. I just don't give up. So that was pretty good. Good boy. Boy. So tell them they did a good job. Good job. You did such a good job. Give them a little break so they know that's what you want. And then we're going to go the other way. Now, when you do these things, of course, they can get sore. It's things they've never done before. So you're always watching for soreness, too. But if you can get your pacey horse to trot, it'll not only help you with the vet or vet checks and endurance rides if you're doing that. You can see if your horse is lame better, but it helps its gait. Trot. So you can either speed them up right in front. There's his flat walk. You can either speed them up in front of it or just have them pace into it. It's very hard to pace through the poles. Trot. And I like to use the word. So I saw I added a little canter step, so I'm like, I probably messed the poles up. So let's straighten them out a little bit. So if they keep cantering, you can either make them closer or farther. It depends on the horse. Some of them can canter through anything. Trot. So very good, except that one. Hit it. Now, it's much nicer if you have a ground person to fix this stuff, which I don't. As I always tell you, one-man show, one-woman show. Hey, he's not paying any attention. He's like, where'd that white horse come from? Yeah, see him get mad? Because I waved that and then he struck out. We're going to fix that. Trot. So there he shortened his stride and he should have opened it up for the trot. That's why he didn't get it through it so fast. Well, so I'm going to try and speed him up as he goes through. Trot. Now he cantered it. Told you they could do some different stuff. So don't stop unless you got to fix the poles until they get through it. Oh boy, that was a good one. Now, I believe he was show horse, going with some heavy shoes. Another thing with the whip, some of the horses that are show horses, not all of them, have been whipped. Some of them fight back. Those are usually the ones that don't make it, because they're a fighter. But those are the smart ones, right? You're like, I'm not doing that crazy stuff with my feet. So reward him when he does the right thing. Now we're going to go back the other way. So I try to just get 2 to 3 good times when I'm starting out of it. And then over time I add in more. But I'm not going to do it 20 times or anything because I know he's never done this. And it's going to use different muscles. Trot, trot, trot. That was good. So I get 2 to 3 good good ones. And then I go the other direction. Now it might take 5 times to get 2 good ones. It just depends. Trot. So I'm pointing my stick up so he doesn't cut in. There he dragged that pole, so it changed the spacing. You do got to keep fixing. Trot. 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 Good boy. Okay, whoa. Now what do we want to do? We want to go right and do the other poles because we got lots of stuff to do. No, don't do that. Good job. This is what you do. What a good boy. I saw you trot. Yes. Such a good job. We're going to be good friends. I'm going to fix your gates. How? I'm showing you. Don't worry. We'll get it. We're going to get it. You're going to look so pretty. Everybody's going to want to buy you. He's not for sale. But we're just saying. All right. So now we're going to come in the other direction. So same thing. Sometimes they do one direction well and the other direction not so well. Some are more pacey, one direction. Trot. Trot. See, that spacing is a little bit further apart, which I want him to do, but he keeps hitting it. So I'm going to move this pole. Okay. Trot. Trot. See how that was better? Again, don't worry about the pacing afterwards. You can't control that, and you got to start somewhere. In time, you can put poles all over the place. Trot. So he tried to take a canter step again. They got to figure it out. So no stopping, if possible, until they do the right thing. Trot. Now, it was okay. He actually kind of half-gated through there, more like a foxtrot. I want him to really open up his stride and do a big trot through there because he has a big pace. Want to counteract it. Trot. Good boy. Whoa. Okay. Good job. Good job. Now, don't always go to their left side to pet them because that's what everybody does. Do a lot of stuff on the right because most horses aren't good on the right because everybody does everything on the left. So start doing a lot of stuff on the right. Saddle them, do everything. Good boy. Okay. So now what are we going to do? Now we're going to do my circle of poles. Okay? And I'm going to go 5 minutes each direction because he's in pretty good shape. I'll start with 3 and we'll see how it goes. So our circle of poles is much easier for the horse. I don't have certain spacing. I just do it, I throw them out and just make a circle. And I start with 4 poles. And I start with just a walk, and then over time I do their flat walk and their running walk over it. They can hit them. These are raised up to really make the horses think and to lift, make their proprioception better. But he's a pretty good walking horse, because some walking horses come in. I just tapped him because he wasn't paying attention, and they trip on these. They can't even get over these because they've never stepped over anything in their life. So there's one. But see, he caught himself pretty well. So this is also a gauge of how safe are you. Can you walk over the poles? Do you know where your feet are? He cheated a little there, but he does know where his feet are. So even when you're buying horses, you can do this. There, he hit it. That's okay because it was higher. But over time, they should get better at this. If over time they're getting worse, something is wrong. Either they don't feel their feet, maybe they have navicular, maybe somebody nerved them, but something is wrong if your horse isn't getting better after a couple of weeks. But it's got to be 3 to 5 times of doing this, 3 to 5 times a week, doing these exercises over the poles for at least a couple of weeks. Some horses that are slower, it takes them a month. But you should notice some improvement. It's not going to be perfect. It'll just be better. This also helps their stifles, their top line. It helps so many things. Their thoracic sling, it really builds everything up. So I love walking horses. That's a beautiful walk. Did you see that? Did you see that head shake and walk? The owner said, do you really think you can get him to gait? We already did. Just on the ground. So he can do it. He has the talent. It's okay that fell down. We just got to bring it out. But he's going up towards his flat walk. So that also helps you to know, hey, he's going to be able to flat walk pretty easily once I get his legs separated. See that head shake? You can really see his mane going. You can see him reaching out. And you can watch his stride as well. Watch where his back foot lands over his front foot, the hoof print. The hoof print is about a foot. So he brings that back foot about a foot over his front hoof print. Now again, don't let that worry you. Walk. And I want him to pace over it, and you saw he could pace over it. So he catches himself well. It's just you see him looking around, and lots of walking horses do that. They think they can walk one way. No. And go the other way. So that was him checking I don't want to do this anymore. Do I got to still do it? And I'm like, with me you do. So be stern if they question you. Okay? His first day here, and he's like, I can't believe she already put me to work. So very good walk. Now, I don't want to push him for speed because this is his first day. He doesn't totally know what he's doing, and of course he's not paying attention because he just arrived, so everything is new. But this is the same as when you're riding them. Don't let them look around, because you see what happens when he looks around. He doesn't pay attention to the pole. He doesn't pick his feet up high enough. Every time he's paying attention, he steps over that pole. That was good right before he went to the pace. Now we're going right back to that pole because he did it wrong. You're not paying attention. And sometimes I'll stick at the same pole over and over until they start paying attention again. Now, he hopped it like a canter step. I don't want that either. So he's got to do it again. So anything your horse does and it's not right, do it again. Do it again and again and again until they get it right. The hard part is they don't wear watches. They don't care about time. No. Keep going. And it might be because I got ahead of them a little bit too. And we all do these differently. We all lunge different. I like to walk, move with the horse. Not everybody does. I don't want them to hop it. Now, a hop, that was a good walk. If I was working on the canter, would be fine. But since I'm working on his gait, if he hops, that's not going to help me get his gait. It does make him a little bit more trottier, but still. Now, that was a good one. Well, so that was about 5 minutes. Close enough. Good job. Good boy. And he did it right. The things where he's stopping and turning, we all handle horses different. We're all different. They don't always understand our cues. So one, he could be testing me. Two, he learned it differently, and when the person gets ahead, he's supposed to turn. So I don't want to wail on him or do anything crazy. Good boy. And it's fine for him to look around when we're on break, just not fine to look around when we're working. But we all do things differently, so this is day one with the two of us. So we got to figure each other out, and that just takes time. Okay? Okay. So now we're going to go 5 minutes this way. So I just do it at a slow walk, which is called a trail walk, first, and then over time I'll start flat walking. Now here and there, he's giving me some flat walk, which I'm like, okay, as long as you don't go into a pace, I don't care how fast he walks right now. I am just not asking for it because I know it'll probably push him up into a pace. Good job. So lots of telling they did a good job. If you don't like to talk out loud, just say it in your head. They can hear it. But you got to use your stick to steer them. So this takes practice. It always looks easy, and then when I show people how to do it, they go, holy moly, that's hard. And I go, yeah, it is. But once you can do it, you can do really cool stuff. Because now he missed that pole, so I'm making him go back to it. No slackers here. Okay? So you mess it up, you do it again. Those are the rules. And that's when the horse tries harder for you, because they're like, I don't want to do that 20 times. I want to do it once and move on. And I'm like, me too. That's a good walk. And then he went to pacing. So I'm going to turn him because I was going to miss the pole anyhow. Okay? So two things are helping him to break up the pace. The poles, but also that I have him in a circle. Okay? The trotting poles are going to help, but they're not going to totally get rid of it. Okay? And I can't really gait through those. These I can gait over. But when you start, that was his stifle given out. That's normal. Given out, that's normal too, because these horses have very loose stifles. Some of them ring their hocks and do some odd things, but that it's bred into them in some of the lines. So when his stifle gives out, I don't worry so much because this is also going to help his stifles. He's cutting, so he's got to do that one again because he kind of paced over it. It's going to help his stifles stay stronger. But the arena footing, especially when they're barefoot behind, which he is, doesn't give them much traction, at least not our arena footing. And so therefore they slide, and when their feet slide, especially if they toe out behind, that stifle, which is like your kneecap, slides out of place, and then their leg gives out. And a lot of times it looks like their hock or their ankle gave out or something else, and nope. Now he's pacing, so we're going to circle, because see, the circle gets him out of the pace as well. And you can learn a lot from your horses. You see, when he paced, he threw his head up, shortened his stride. So I know if I can keep his head down and keep him more relaxed, that's going to help us a lot, keeping him out of the pace. Okay? So we can see when he does a nice flat walk that his head is probably, I don't know, 4 inches or so above his wither. So I know that's when he's going to get that head shaking gait. When his head's lower, he's not getting as much head shake. So you can learn a lot just from watching them go. But videotape it because your eyes might not catch it as fast. And then you can look, you're like, wow, he gaited one step. And this is where his head was. His legs were separated. This is what his body looked like. And try to get them to imitate it with you in the saddle over time. Yeah, so his head is a couple inches above his wither, probably 4 or 6. Good boy. Now that was a good big reach over that pole. Good job. We got 1 more minute. It goes by fast when you're having fun. He's like, not fast for me. So I do this before I ride them. If I have a lot of time, sometimes this is all I do for the first couple of weeks because it helps them understand better. And then I'll also put him in a surf single to help with the headset so he doesn't get his head up too high. And it's not pulling his head down. I don't use the surf single for that. It just provides a little tension on the bit if they raise their head up. So it'd be me putting pressure on the bit, like asking him to put his head back down. So many people think, this equipment is bad. It's not. It's how you use it. Just like the bits, okay? It's in the hands of the user that many things become bad. Well, good enough. Good job. Good job. That was good. So he did really well for the first day. You can tell he's a good horse. He didn't come here. He's not all antsy or crazy. And so we just got to clean up some stuff and help him not to be so pacey and show him how to gait well. And you'll get to watch his progress. So remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss his videos, especially if you have a pacey one. And again, I have lots of trotty horse videos too if you need that. All right, remember, like and subscribe.